What are the pickup directions? I don't want to look for you. Who the hell did this nigga think he talking to? Like, what the heck? This didn't even tell me that he left my key in there and I should lock the car. You can't just do that. Like, what do you think this is? What's poppin', family? How y'all doing? And welcome back to my channel. From the title and thumbnail, you probably already can tell what we about to get into. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. But I just wanted to come on here and share a crazy experience that I recently had. Just another insight of what really goes on in the business and what really goes on in the day-to-day life of operating the business. So with no further ado, let's get right into it. This is probably one of my most memorable rentals because right before I got the rental, I was actually like in somewhat panic mode. Y'all know me by now that like if I don't get like a booking within like a few days, I kind of get into this like panic anxiety attack mode that I really need to work on, you know what I'm saying? Because like when you're operating a business like this, like nothing is really promised. Like you can get a booking that same day. So you can wake up without one, but go to sleep delivering your car prior to that. So, you know, but this day was like a few days. I hadn't got a booking like 5 to 6 days. Then boom, a guy named Clarence rented out my car. So he rents out the car for the following morning, like 7 a.m. or some crazy time like that, right? And then supposedly it was kind of like a lucky rental in a way because his rental actually canceled on him. So Turo then made mine available to him type stuff. So that happens a lot as well if I've never told you guys. Sometimes like somebody's rental will get like canceled, like the person will cancel on them and then Turo will just recommend yours. So that's why I also say like that like 3-hour window, 2-hour window advance time really goes a long way. But it was a 7 a.m. booking and I just remember like 7 a.m. booking and I got that booking the night before, so I had to make sure the car was ready that same night before I went to bed. But boom, it's the following day and his flight got here early, right? His flight had came a little bit early than usual, so he was already waiting before like his 7 o'clock whatever time he booked. But then he was like, hey, he's landed and he's waiting on me. And I'm just like, okay, cool, you know what I'm saying? But hey, this is the time that you booked it for, so you can't really rush me. And he's like, yeah, but usually people just leave their car at the airport and they unlock it for me, or they keep the keys in a lockbox or whatever. And I'm just like, hey, that's not what I'm doing with this rental, you know? Plus, he didn't really even give me enough time to go ahead and drop it off. Either way, that's not how it's being done, so you're just gonna have to wait. He didn't like that and he kind of got a little bit pissed. I put him in his place too, like, hey bro, chill out. Let me actually kind of share a little bit of that with y'all. Okay, so he booked the car for 7 a.m. So I was correct. He booked the car for 7 a.m., right? But check this out. He says his flight lands at 6:20. Sorry about the change. And I'm just like, all right, cool. I can't guarantee like a drop off at that time, but I'll try my best to be there by 7 a.m., which is the time he booked it. But he wanted me to be there like at 6:20 when he landed. And he's like, okay, I'm here. And I'm just like, okay, cool. And he hadn't even sent me like his driver's license, so I couldn't like actually like fully even give him the car. So like if you hadn't even sent me a driver's license to make sure it's legit, why would I actually drop off the vehicle for you prior? You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make sense. Like how am I just gonna drop off the car? Like I need to see your license to make sure you're actually a legit driver. You can drive the car just in case of any like potential damages or anything happens while on the trip. And then he's like, how far are you away? And I'm just like, about 11 minutes. There's a lot of traffic. And he's like, oh, I've been here 2 hours after a 6-hour flight. Cars are normally waiting at the airport. What are the pickup directions? I don't want to look for you. Who the hell did this nigga think he talking to? Like, what the heck? What the heck? No courtesy, nothing. Like, I'm dropping off my car that you need. I could literally turn around and cancel on you just like the other guy did, and you would be left with no car. Or you would have to wait for another car. So you should actually be kind of polite. You feel what I'm saying? And then I responded like, you rescheduled at 1:40 a.m. Because he actually rescheduled. He had scheduled it for 8. But then at 1:30 a.m., while I was already asleep, he rescheduled for 7. But like, how do you want me to do that? Like, how am I supposed to know that? I was like, you had rescheduled at 1:40 a.m. after I was asleep. I usually meet my guests when the license isn't confirmed or turned in a few hours before delivery time. I also sent a message to communicate right after booking, but didn't see a response till this morning. My sincere apologies. I am close by. To make things faster, we can meet in front of arrival doors, which I don't even do, because if you guys are my returning subscribers, then you already know that when you meet guests at the airport, especially the Atlanta airport, there's a high possibility that you will get a $200 to $250 ticket for operating Turo in front of the arrival doors. So I was actually risking it for this client. Look at me trying to be a great host and, you know, take customer service very, very serious and important. Here I am with this rude. He's like, the flight rescheduled. I told you as soon as it happened. I was at the airport. I'll be out front, gray hoodie, gray sweats. If you guys ever flew Frontier before, then you know Frontier Airlines aren't like, you know, they're not good when it comes to timing. So I understand his situation and all, but at the same time, like, you know what happens when you fly Frontier. Like, it's, so I feel like he should have not came at me the way he came at me. Either way, these were red flags that I probably should have actually kind of noticed. But then when I finally did meet him, he was all cool. Like, he didn't even bring that energy when I finally gave him the car. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, he actually dapped me up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That should have actually been like my first like sign to red flags, right? Just that right there, the fact that you suck at communicating and you just want things to go your way. Secondly, I asked them, every time I drop off a vehicle to a guest when it comes to the Tesla, I always ask, have you rented out the car? Have you driven a Tesla before? Because if you've never drove a Tesla before, then I probably need to explain how to unlock and lock the doors. I probably need to explain how to do a few things and how to start the car and blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, I rented one before, I drove one a few times. Boom. 10 minutes after, he calls me, hey man, how can I unlock the door? I'm trying to lock the door. What? That should be 2 + 2. I know a lot of people who's never drove a Tesla but still know how to unlock and lock the door on the side of the driver's door. And I was just like, that doesn't even make sense, because you told me. But I keep it cool. I explained to him. Boom. Cool. That goes by. And as he's with the car, I keep getting notification alerts. Usually when I rent my car out to guests, I don't even like to like check up on them, blah, 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 because it's all business, right? You have to always have that business mindset. Like, you can't be like checking up on the clients. You have to kind of like ease your mind a little bit, right? Just, hey, the car's with them, nothing's wrong with the car. I'll get it back in a few days. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to like text in and, you know. Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out how to position the camera. I've never actually shot a video from this part of my desk before, but you know, like you try to just let them enjoy the car or whatnot. But then I kept getting notifications, your vehicle door is unlocked. Your vehicle passenger door is open. It's been left open for an hour or two. I kept getting like mad notifications. Out of my whole Turo experience, I've never got that many notifications. Like, and this was the weekend time, I'm out having fun, but I keep getting these notifications and it keeps reminding me of my vehicle, and it didn't sit well with me. But one time I'm like, okay, this notifications is crazy. Let me text him like, hey man, like, you know, what's going on? I keep getting notifications like my door is unlocked, blah, blah, blah. Is everything okay? He didn't respond. I'm like, damn. Read it, but didn't respond. Okay. Communication sucks over there. What's going on? More notifications kept coming in. I'm like, boom, where is this guy, man? Let me track it. I hit the track button on the Tesla app. Thank God, like, Tesla automatically has that in the app, so you don't actually have to put the AirTag on Turo, which, by the way, I just got a notification that Turo no longer accepts AirTag. So if you're operating Turo, you can no longer put an AirTag on your vehicle to kind of track it or whatever. I forgot the reason behind that, but yeah, that was kind of stupid, I felt, because when I first started on the platform, like, before I started on the platform, when I used to get cars, I remember one time I was in Miami and I rented out a Porsche. And I knew there was a tracker on it because I kept hearing a weird sound. And I was like, oh, okay, you can put trackers on your car. All right, when I start, this is something that I definitely want to have on my vehicle as well, you know, because I understood it. But back to my story, guys. So I track it and I see this guy is like in Alabama or something. I'm just like, what the heck? He rented out the car for like 4 or 5 days. And I'm just like, Alabama, bro? Like, this is crazy. My car is being unlocked all the way in Alabama, which it was legal for him to travel as long as he's under his mile range or whatever. But usually people probably drive my car to so many places. Like I said, I don't check, right? Because I just don't even want to be bothered about that. But I see he's in Alabama. It's like, damn, that's like another red flag. Kind of starts, you know, making me anxious a little bit. But of course, what could you do, right? I read his reviews prior to giving him the car, and he actually had a lot of great reviews to his defense. Boom. The car gets back, right? On the final day, it gets back, and he was super late. His drop-off was for 8 p.m. I kept texting this guy. He sent me a message saying, running behind. Where did you want to meet for drop-off? I said, airport hourly parking, either at South or North Terminal. Are you flying out? He said, yes. I said, we can meet at North or South Terminal hourly parking lot. I am 20 minutes away. That was at 7:34. And he had to drop off my car by 8 p.m. I was like, yo, have you arrived? That's at 9 p.m., an hour after. He doesn't respond. Another one at like 9:15. If so, where at? He still doesn't respond. Then he later responds and is like, North Terminal hour parking, straight into the right. I'm like, level 3. He's like, yes. I said, pulling in. Would you believe what this guy did? He purposely didn't respond. Waited till he got to the airport, parked the car, and told me that my car was pretty much left at level 3. I should go on level 3 and go straight in and I'll see the car. Because when I arrived there, he wasn't there. He had just left the key in there. And this didn't even tell me that he left my key in there and I should lock the car. I'm thinking I'm actually meeting him. Upon arriving, I walk in the car and bro, I get the most contact high ever. I have never been that contact high in my life. You hear me? And I went to college. So if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing, right? Like, you smoke in a vehicle, I know you smoke in a vehicle, cool. But one thing that I did not appreciate and could not accept was this left weed remnants in my vehicle. Like, literally all up in the cup holder, all up on the chair, on the floor mat. I cannot make this up. Like, literally, this is what happened. Like, it was so much weed in the vehicle, like, I just couldn't fathom. It all made sense, right? Like, all the red flags made sense. And to me, like, I'm just like, bro, there's no way that you do this on a regular and your reviews are like this. So either you had a vendetta for me, or you were just abusing. You took my kindness for weakness. And in business, never let them get over you. Make sure that they never get over you, because at the end of the day, in life in general, you show people how you want to be treated. So if you don't want them to treat you that way, then you have to like make sure that you don't get treated that way. Like, you literally have to set up the blueprint. And I'm just like, bro, there's no way you have these many good reviews and you do this. So either it was just his birthday and he was just trying to celebrate, or you're just taking my kindness for weakness and just thought like nothing would come out of it. So that really made me pissed, because if you had just smoked, left the smell, cool. But then you got weed all over the car. I could be driving home and get pulled over. What do I say then? And then you know what he did? To kind of compensate for it, he left me a Luke Belaire bottle in the middle of the like handrest. Like, I don't know what he was trying to show me. Like, hey, sorry for smoking in your car and making it this dirty with weed. Here you go. Here's a champagne bottle, like a $20-something champagne bottle. Like, really? Is that gonna compensate for the hassle that I have to go through and the possibility of getting pulled over and some issues? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even make sense. Even just the smell that happened, and I'm just like, this makes no sense. So it kind of got me a little bit pissed off and it rubbed me the wrong way. So what I did was, boom, I was gonna contact him and let him know, like, hey, look at what you did to my car. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to compensate me for this. I'm gonna give you my price and you better pay, or we can let Turo deal with it. But then I remembered, this dude sucks at communication. Why the hell would I talk to him? It makes no sense when I can just go with Turo and have Turo deal with it. So I was like, you know what? Screw you. So I just went on Turo, like, boom. This dude smoked in my car and here's the proof. And what I realized upon that time was that, like, you can't just have like proof with like just the smell. Like, you actually have to have physical proof on Turo. You know what I'm saying? Which is some game for y'all too. So like, you have to have physical proof on Turo. So like, they have to actually maybe see weed, ash, because it could be cigarettes. So they have some ash, maybe like a cigarette on the floor. If it's weed, of course, like weed on the floor. And if just saying the smell ain't gonna work. That happened, and I provided physical evidence, and I got a response back in like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, saying that they cannot approve of my smoking violation, right? They can't compensate me for that. I'm like, what? With all this proof? Something gotta be wrong. Something's not right. So I then called customer service and I was like, I need y'all to review this. I don't know who the hell was trying to work on my case, but they suck. He reviewed it and he was like, oh yeah, like that's a lot. You know, it's like, that's just straight up 2 + 2. Like I see it. I see all the evidence. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and compensate you and write a report of the other person who didn't compensate you. Yeah, go ahead. Thank you. But then I asked, like, so why didn't that other person approve when it's clear evidence? And he made a statement like, honestly, there were a lot of pictures and the individual who was working on my case probably didn't want to go through all those pictures. He was probably just being lazy. And I was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like but I know how it goes with customer service. No customer service is perfect. And honestly, they don't own Turo. They just work for Turo. So they probably don't even care. Or the person was pro weed. And just like, you know what? I'm going to give this person a pass. It's just weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, but in a business standpoint, that didn't work out for me, you know? So I was able to charge the actual smoking violation fee, which is $150, that was adjusted to my earnings. Also, for the individual being late, I was able to charge a late fee as well. So I was able to charge like maybe like an 1.5 hour or 2 hour late fee and all that. So that was just my experience. And then this dude actually responded to me. He sent me a message a couple days later and he was real pissed. And I'm gonna go ahead and read the message to y'all. Bruh, you trying to charge me 93 bucks for being 45 minutes late, and you were 3 hours late dropping the car off. Plus you say it was smoking. You right, Atlanta be with the bull. And I'm just like, why are you pissed at what you did? You can't tell me it wasn't no smoking. Like, come on, bro. 2 + 2, you know what I'm saying? And then the 93 bucks for being late, you were late and you weren't communicating with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just do that. Like, what do you think this is? And I was not 3 hours late. You rescheduled at 1:30 a.m., 1:40 a.m. I was not awake. Like, it just doesn't work like that. You know, and I was only an hour late. You know what I'm saying? I was actually stick with the original time that, you know, and the original time made me set my alarm for a normal time. But either way, man, they try to play you in this game, but you gotta stay 10 toes. You know what I'm saying? You always have to stay on your feet and stand your ground. Always understand the Turo guidelines and policies. Even as a guest, understand that. Know what can happen if you decide to smoke and leave remnants. Know what can happen if you're late. Know what can happen if you're a guy like Clarence and doesn't communicate. You know, all that plays a part when you rent out a vehicle. It's just 2 + 2. Any other rental is the same exact way. Private rental, right? Any other private rental is the exact same way. Shit, if it was a public rental, you did this at Hertz or Enterprise, boy, your ass is done. Your ass is cooked, man. So, anyways, that was just my story, man. It's Friday. I'm over here sipping on some wine. I didn't go out tonight, and I just wanted to chat with you guys and just bring a story time, you know, something that came to my head, and I just wanted to shed light on that. Just spend some time with y'all. But as always, make sure you guys like this video. Drop any comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know about the experience. Was Clarence tripping or was I tripping? Either way, how would you guys take it? How would you guys respond to this kind of situation? Drop it in the comments down below. Let's chat, family. Let's chat. Let's discuss. And 2025, man, make sure that we're staying on top of our goals. Make sure that we're doing what we need to do to make sure that we reach the top. Make sure that you're 1% better every day. And let's keep it rocking, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you have not. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to getting 100,000 subscribers this year. I know that it's possible, but obviously I need you guys' assistance. So click that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the bell. I'll see you guys in the next one. Skip!